the situation at hand, and he spoke. So many people could have been harmed, not only financially, but physically, emotionally, spiritually. So just be careful what we tweet and we say and what we do, even though, yes, we do have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negative that comes with that too. I think when we all sit back and learn from the situation that happened, understand that what you could tweet or could say, we all talk about this freedom of speech. Yes, we all do have freedom of speech, but at times there are ramifications for the negative that can happen when you're not thinking about others and you're only thinking about yourself. So that's my belief. That's all I can say. I believe he was either misinformed or not really educated on the situation. And if he was, then so be it. But I have no idea, but that's just my belief. When you say things or do things, if you're doing it, and you know the people that can be affected by it, and the families and the individuals and everyone that can be affected by it, sometimes things can be changed as well. And also sometimes social media is not always the proper way to go about things as well.
Let me say a couple of things. Number one, I have a producer here by the name of Jonathan Winthrop. He's not a punk. He's not going to hide behind the camera and not say it. He doesn't mind me putting his name on Front Street. He thought LeBron came across as considerably weak. Thought that LeBron James could have been far more outspoken. And if you're going to speak against freedoms and injustices right here about the existing in the United States of America, then you certainly can speak about freedom and injustices or lack thereof, or lack of freedom and injustices that take place across the ocean, particularly in China. That's John's position. Max Kellerman's position, my partner on First Take every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time on ESPN, basically accused LeBron James to some degree of selling out on the issue because he obviously felt that LeBron James should have been more outspoken. Let me tell you what Stephen A. thinks, okay? Let me be very, very clear about what Stephen A. thinks. I don't give a damn what none of y'all say. That includes Jonathan Winthrop, Max Kellerman, John Oliver, Mr. Late Night himself. I've heard that he came at me. I don't know exactly what he said because I haven't seen the clip. Don't give a damn. By the way, John Oliver has a very good show. On a few occasions that I've had the pleasure of watching, he's an incredibly talented individual. And I have no problem with him coming at me. I'm a big boy. I can take it. And it's perfectly within his right to do so. You're going to sit in this chair and you're going to cast judgment and aspersions upon people's actions on a day-to-day basis. You got to be man enough to take it. And I certainly have that kind of alligator skin. I can take it. All right? Sometimes I want to bite back. Sometimes I will bite back. I'll be damned if I won't. Sometimes I'll elect not to. Depends on what my preference is at a particular moment in time. But that's neither here nor there. Let me be clear about what I'm about to say. LeBron James was absolutely right with what he said. It's time for everybody to grow up. Everybody. LeBron James sitting up there saying, think about somebody other than yourself. I think when it comes to Daryl Morey, that's apropos. I'm not saying that Daryl Morey is thoughtless. I'm not saying that he's a misinformed individual or anything like that. Daryl Morey is one of the smartest dudes and one of the most decent people you'll ever find in this business. And I will defend Daryl Morey to the hilt as it pertains to his individual character as a man. He's a good man. That's not what this is about. When LeBron James used the word misinformed, you know what I think LeBron was alluding to? Damn it, Daryl Morey, you don't know we over there in this communist country? What the hell were you thinking about? That tweet couldn't have waited a week? You had to say something now and just throw us to the wolves? You didn't know how China was going to act? You haven't been doing business with China for the last 15, 20 years? Yao Ming didn't play for the Rockets under your stewardship? Yao Ming wasn't a star? Yao Ming, the president of the Chinese Basketball Federation? The Chinese Basketball Federation, whose relationship is synonymous with the Houston Rockets, who's cultivated a relationship with America and the NBA and the Houston Rockets spanning 20 years, that has everything to do with the proliferation of individuals employed in China, spanning in the thousands, helping to facilitate the the ability to generate revenue in excess of $3 billion? You didn't know nothing about that, Daryl Morey? You didn't know how China would react? You haven't been doing business with them yourself? That's what LeBron James was saying. He ain't the only one doing business with them. James Harden ain't the only one doing business with them. There's a plethora of NBA players, present and former, who do business with China. The NBA has offices in China, have employees in China. Oh, by the way, so does Apple. So does Tesla. And a myriad of businesses spanning the hundreds. Oh, by the way, the same China that everybody wants to excoriate. How much money do we owe them in debt? Some people have joked around about how they own us because we owe them so much damn money. So LeBron James is saying, how do you not know that, Daryl Morey? How do you not know or not be sensitive enough to the position that will put us in? This is China. They don't share our values. They do have a different moral compass than us. They might love their basketball, but we might talk about how some people need to shut up and dribble. China tells you to do that and dares you to defy them. See the difference? We don't know that? And then all of a sudden, in the world of business, we got people sticking out their chest at every turn. Oh, you should speak out. Of course, if you're an American citizen. Anytime somebody asked me a question about China, you know what I said? I'm an American. I'm a black man first, but I'm an American. And I support democracy everywhere. Period. I ain't apologizing for saying that. Adam Silver didn't apologize for saying that. At least they too. Daryl Morey, LeBron James, or anybody else should not apologize for saying that. But I'll be damned if I was over in China saying, I don't give a damn what anybody says. I support democracy everywhere. I guarantee you I'd wait until I got the hell out of there. I'm sorry. You think that, hey, John, am I a punk? Hey, JC, am I a punk for saying that? Ladies and gentlemen, do I need to jump up and down waving my hand? Stephen A's a punk. Stephen A's a sellout. Yes, the hell I am, if that's what that meant. You think I'm going to go to China saying that? I'm going to be in China. Beijing, Shanghai, wherever the hell else it is. I've never been over there. You think I'm going to go over there bloviating about democracy and human rights on their soul? You think I ain't going to wait till I get the hell up out of there? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. You want to call that being a punk, sellout, or whatever? Damn it, I'm going to say to you, that's all the nicknames you got? That's all? We can bring it home. Right here on American soil. Ladies and gentlemen, once upon a time, not to say that it's still not a prevalent issue and still not an issue in our country, there was discussions about brutality on the part of police officers against young black men. Then they talked about how the hoodie issue because of the Trayvon Martin situation. And some wannabe cop, George Zimmerman, shot Trayvon Martin. I still think his behind should be behind bars for a long, long time, but that's a different subject for another day. Assuming he's still around with us. I don't know what his status is. I don't recall whether or not he passed away, he's still living or whatever. I apologize. And you know what I did? I totally agreed. I totally applauded LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, the Miami Heat, Ray Allen, everybody else wearing their hoodies when that happened to Trayvon Martin. Totally supported it. But when my little nephew tried to walk outside with a hoodie on, I said, come here, man. Where the hell you think you going? Because even though it's wrong to have the fear, it doesn't make the palpability of the fear any less. So you're going to go out there and risk yourself and risk your life to make a point when there are a myriad of other ways that you can make that same point. One has nothing to do with the other, but I'm using it to make a point and an example. Knowing when and where to do certain things matter. We got congressional figures